I wanted to do a review, and I guess like a look into. I mean, I don't really know how popular, this book really is, but I wanted to do a review slash just read into of Against Nature, or À Rebours. I got this over the summer in Paris. It was at the Rick Owens museum exhibit, and next to Palais de Tokyo. Anyway, so basically, if obviously spoilers, or you wouldn't be at a book review video, but so it basically is about I don't know. I do not know how the fuck to pronounce this, and I don't really care, to be honest. But des essence. You get the idea. If you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, basically he's tired of living in his normal day-to-day life around people who are fake and performative and hustly and bustly, and everything's about work, and he kind of really just wants a life that's isolated and controlled by him. He wants everything to kind of be perfect. He has a very very much a control fixation, where he wants everything to be completely perfect down to the material and the cut of which it's designed, the walls, the drapes, the rugs, the carpets, the positioning of furniture in the house. And so he goes and he gets a house in the French countryside, outside of Paris. It doesn't seem to be too far outside of Paris. I'm not too sure on the geography, because he does go back to Paris fairly quick via train at some point. But everywhere in France you can kind of get to Paris in like a pretty decent amount of time. So anyway, he wants everything to be kind of like very much suited to him. So the book kind of it really dives into his slow descent into madness and religion of being isolated for so long from other people, and being stuck basically with his own thoughts and his own rhetoric, and reading things that contradict it, and not really knowing how to handle that, being in his own little tiny world. He's viewing everything from almost like a fishbowl perspective. He is almost taken hostage by his past desires, the books that he reads, as I said, and like the religion aspects of it. Whereas he used to be somebody who was very atheistic and would read religious texts almost as if they were fictional, which is debatable depending on what religion you believe in, or what your personal beliefs are. Yeah, he goes back and forth, struggling in his contradictory ideas and opinions, and his internal struggles. They reach this point of collapse, and it was a physical collapse at a certain point, where he completely just passes out from smelling the aromas of all the scents and the perfumes, and they were physically bringing him back. And I think that Huysman did a really great job with showing how sense and feel, using the five senses to really transport you back in time to whether that be good or bad times. He is having anxiety. He is having these panic-induced series of nightmares and being sick. And the book tells a grander idea to me. The thesis of basically nothing will ever be good enough, because what he thought would be, what you would even as the reader would assume from this man, that this is a perfect a perfect world for him. This is his perfect idea of what an ideal life should be. That even then still was missing something. I think that that's something that is really profound. I think it's something that a lot of people don't find, which is great, because if you are content with what you have, and it's like, or at least if you're under the impression or the illusion that you're content with what you have, that's a great way to live, because you'll be happy, But you, at least for me, I found that it's really like, you never know if what you really want will satisfy that need or that longing inside of you that you think it will fill. And I think that really that was really well portrayed in this book. It was really, to on a grand scale, he had everything he could have ever wanted in every single way that he could have wanted it, yet still these wants and these needs that he didn't even know that he needed or wanted would creep up on him, and they would just fill his mind with this feeling that he didn't know what it was. I think that's something that I personally really feel on like a daily basis, is like, no matter what I do, you take that trip, you go, you buy your new MacBook, iPhone, whatever, and before you get it, it's like, wow. And then when you get it, what's the next thing? Okay, now I want this, and now I want this, and now I want to go here. I had spent time in France, and I thought that was going to change my my state of being. Like, I was going to be happier, and you're just there. And one of my friends over there had said it really well, that at least you're suffering with a good view. But I feel like if you have that inside of you, like Desisson had in him, yeah, I think that it's going to spill over. It's going to spill over into everything, because you're already just miserable with your life in general, and no amount of any physical means or any type of environmental placement will really fix that. A part that I really did like, and I really took it out, was more towards the end of the book, but he said on page 155, he says, what madness it was to be begot children, and to think that the priestry, who had taken a vow of sterility, had carried inconsistency to the point of canonizing St. Vincent de Paul because he saved innocent babes for useless torments. Again followed by, on page 155, after all, what did their lives amount to but impetigo, colic, fevers, measles, smacks and slaps in childhood, degrading jobs with plenty of kicks and curses at 13 or so, foul diseases and unfaithful wives, old age, hospitals, etc., and death. Which I believe is like a really, it is definitely a very pessimistic way of looking at life, but he brings up a really great, I think, societal question. Like, do we have not almost the right, but maybe it's not the right word, the responsibility as people of the human race to just take these children, or take people who we think won't have a good life at all, and just end it for them before. I'm sorry, it's crooked. And end it for them before, because I didn't directly quote that here, but he had said also, when you find, should we as a people, when you find something, this isn't verbatim, but on the side of the road, if you were to find a baby who is still not even conscious of their own existence, do you then have is it your job now to take it out of its misery, essentially, before it can go down this life of basically, a pointless existence, and a suffering existence, But that's up to your own interpretation. Obviously, I personally don't agree with it because there's a lot of people who can move out of that. People who grow up without parents and grow up in the foster system, and they grow up to be great people despite those hurdles in their life. So I don't know, but it does bear a really um, big question to society and to me personally, and it might, I don't know. I think it has deep implications in just what it says there. That's for you to interpret. Um, Overall, though, I think it was definitely hard to read at certain points when, um, we go with the flowers when those, all the exotic flowers and poisonous flowers are being brought in. You just sitting there naming them for a long time. It's definitely a struggle if you're bored by that, or you're like, where is this going? It kind of feels like what? But yeah, overall, I mean, it definitely did. I feel like I definitely relate a lot with the main character in this. um I feel like I have this want and want and want, and I feel like I never find it. I think it really much spoke to me. Also, I found out after reading it that this is, if you've ever read The Picture of Dorian Gray. Um, this is a yellow book that they reference in it. I don't have the quote on hand, but it changed Dorian Gray's outlook on things. It made him feel like he was like it very much changed who he was in the story. It was a big turning point. But this is the yellow book that they were referring to. I didn't know that until after I read it, which is interesting. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of all I really have to say about that. But it's my first time doing this, so I'm gonna put it up, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna make other stuff hopefully in the future of um more stuff to do with books and reading and poetry and maybe rhetoric and just other ideas. I don't know, but thank you.